So if you're wondering where I'm at right now, I am at the Chisholm Trail in Texas. And I'll do a little backstory right now. And for those that don't know, the Chisholm Trail was started to bring cattle from San Antonio all the way up into Kansas. And right now I am in the wonderful town of Wardville, Texas, where the Chisholm Trail ran right through. Let's talk about some of the unique buildings that are on this property and on this land and some of the history. Now, first up, we're going to look at the depiction of the Nolan River School, which was in existence for almost 20 years in the mid-1800s. Today, the new structure is a school of learning for everyone. Now, the original courthouse of Johnson County was a 16-foot square log cabin with clapboards over the top. The actual building, which cost $49 to build back in 1855, stands proudly today as it's part of the Outdoor Museum. And just west of the courthouse is the Wardville, Texas Sheriff's Office. When you go inside, it still has the original 2 cells. We'll talk about that later. And as we move along, we come up to recreation of the Stagecoach Station, which now also has restrooms for everyone to visit. And also, they've got a blacksmith shop. And I'll show you a blacksmith at work here in just a little bit. And now it's time to get busy and walk around the property, and I'll kind of show you everything I found, plus a little ghost box session. Well, by the way, I found a cemetery here on the property, and I'm going to do a little ghost box session, but before they do that, I want to show you the Stagecoach Station. Hello, children. Are there any students here? Now this is a cool school. Oh, a little rhyme there. My daughter liked that. cool school. It is a traditional one-room school that was very popular in the day. You have your teacher up here. Of course, all the students sitting in their proper spot. Have their pencils here. Hopefully the windows will be open because it is ridiculously hot today. Very, very hot. And very hot in this building. I wonder how many prisoners are actually in this little jaily stagecoach. From the looks of this one, I'm going to say this one is a rebuild, or not a rebuild, a replica, just because the bars, they don't feel they feel hollow. Now this, on the other hand, this I believe is an actual. This one's got, looks like drum brakes on it and modern day leaf spring, where this one here has no drum brakes, and I don't even know what kind of suspension you would call that. This looks a little bit more authentic, and so does this one here. You can tell by the cobwebs. So that one does look cool though, because it does give you a little idea of what it does, or what it did look like back in the day for the sheriff to round up prisoners and take them back here, walk him in. Obviously it wouldn't be a latch like this because you wouldn't want something that flimsy, but they would sit down and get rode into jail or rode into court. I would imagine jail first, then they would see the judge, find out what their sentence is going to be, whether it was a couple of days in jail or maybe even a couple of months. And speaking of months, can you imagine what it was like to be in jail in Texas in the 1800s with no air conditioning? Ripe. That's the word I'm coming up with right now. It would be very, very ripe. Blech. Here, you're the blacksmith in town. It's just about quitting time anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, just about.
So, any of this original?
The building, no.
The building, no?
No. The blower was made in 1903.
Oh, nice.
The power hammer is made in 1917. That collection of horseshoes is over some of them are over 100 years old. But and a lot of my tongs are up to 150 years old.
I thought they had bellows back then. I didn't know that they had actually.
They started with the crank blowers and just after Civil War.
Wow, that's kind of modern, you know, because,
Yeah.
you know, when you think about the old bellows that they'd have to get the air moving.
If I'd had a bellows, it'd be a great bellows hanging up on the ceiling with just a handle to pull down. I wish I had one, but they're hard, expensive to make and hard to upkeep.
Yeah. Yeah, that leather, I mean, after a while starts chafing in that fold, doesn't it? My name is Andre. If there's anybody here that would like to talk, you're more than welcome to say anything. For any spirits that are here on the property. So, like I said, here at the Chisholm Trail. Now this is the museum property, but all the buildings that are on the property are still all the original buildings. Really, really cool to check out. Ooh, I see a little bridge. Let's see what goes there. So that's the creek bed that goes around the property here. And the interesting thing is, the gentleman told me that once in a while when the creek actually dries up, you can go all the way back to the backside of the property and actually see the original wagon wheel tracks that are still in the creek bed. Very cool. Alright, so here at the Chisholm Trail Museum, and we're going to come up to cemetery, do a little ghost box session like I said. This time I'm going to use my old trusty AGBX3 that I put in an old Joe's box holder. Made this one back in June 25th, 2015. The first one I ever made in the Joe's box. We'll see if we catch anything out here. See if she starts sweeping. Hello, is there anybody out here? I don't want to walk into the family plot here. Let's This is, what does that say right there? 1863. And this one is 1853 or 58. Did you just answer me and say 3? Gentleman over there told me that there's a lot of bodies buried out here in unmarked graves. Is that true? Hi. Can you tell me your name? My name's Andre. I don't mean you any harm. If you walk up, you can actually talk through this radio, and I can hear your voice. Maybe you guys never attempted before to talk through a ghost box out here. You can walk up and actually hear your own voice. Some beautiful buildings out here, a lot of rich history. And everybody I've talked to out here has been super, super friendly. Good morning. It's actually afternoon. We've got an unknown pioneer right there in the middle. And then Thomas William O'Neill in this left grave. Thomas William O'Neill, are you here? Let's see, who do we have in this grave? Permelia O'Neill. Yeah, Permelia O'Neill. So I guess husband and wife. Alright, it's about time for me to start heading back to the house. Got a good hour and a half drive to get home. Is there anything any of you spirits would like to say before I leave? No? Alright, well I'm going to go ahead and close out. I'm going to close out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, thank you. Bye-bye. Cool little old grave site, the 1800s. Not a whole lot on the ghost box, but that's okay. I haven't used this box in quite a long time. I actually sold it to somebody. They took it to Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. Didn't quite like the responses that they were getting. Asked me if I wanted it back, and I was like, oh, absolutely, I'll buy it back. And since it was my first one I did in a Joe's box container, so got it back, and it's been a good little talker for me. But you still have to build that connection. So if my face is beet red, it's because it's 98 degrees It rained on the way out here, so it's super, super muggy. The humidity has got to be in the 70s, 80%, because it is 103 right now for a heat index. So that's it for me on this little excursion slash, I guess, a little scouting run. You never know the places that you can find. Just get on Google, and I was actually just searching for abandoned towns in North Texas, and this popped up. And not so much abandoned town. It is officially an abandoned town, but it's part of the Chisholm Trail, and I thought it was, from what I saw online from the photos, I was like, wow, this is definitely a place I want to go check out, just for historical value, because I mean, I've been out to Fort Richardson before a couple of times. Super historical, and we definitely got some activity back the couple of times that we went. So I'm looking forward to coming out here and investigating, because I got my contact in to be able to come out here and do an investigation. Can you imagine that? Chisholm Trail Pioneer Days are coming up November 15th and 16th here. So they're going to be doing live reenactments, cannon fire. The rumor is that you're going to have some Confederate troops and some Union troops out here doing some reenactments, as well as some Native American Indians. So that should be interesting to spark up a little bit of activity out here. But when we come out here to investigate, I definitely want to do some of the cannon fire, gunshot fire, sound banks, and run it through a speaker just to see what kind of responses that we get. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it. If you're in Texas and you want to go to a historical place, the Chisholm Trail and the old Chisholm Trail Museum, definitely thumb up on my list of places to go. History out here in the grounds is just crazy. You start walking around and you almost get the feeling that you just stepped back in time. So until the next video, I'll talk to you later, and remember, keep it spooky. Bye. Chisholm Trail.